What to do after I found out my 19M boyfriend 39M of 1.5 years was cheating on me. Summary: I discovered that my ideal boyfriend of 1.5 years has been chatting with other men on Snapchat and occasionally sending nude photos. However, he has not physically cheated on me. I am uncertain whether it is worth leaving him over this situation. What should my next steps be? Preface: the age difference is not an issue here. I understand that some people disapprove of age gaps, but I initiated the conversation with him first. Neither of us has a problem with it. Furthermore, there was never any illegal activity between us. We began seeing each other after I turned 18. I am attracted to older men, which is why I chose to pursue this relationship. Note: this will be a lengthy post, so I will divide it into several sections. Feel free to read all, some, or none of it. If you decide to skip some parts, I suggest focusing on the sections about the cheating, his reaction, and the dilemma to get the main points. About us. We have been in a relationship for almost 1.5 years and lived together for approximately 4 to 5 months. To me, we complement each other perfectly. We share numerous interests and enjoy various activities together, while also challenging each other to try new things we do not initially favor. Beyond our preferences, our personalities blend well, and our differences create a harmonious balance. For instance, while he enjoys socializing and meeting new people, I prefer to keep to myself when going out. Our outings are a blend of both approaches, allowing us to have wonderful experiences together. We are akin to yin and yang, which complicates matters because he aligns with me in all the right ways, yet differs in equally significant ways, allowing us to fit together like pieces of a puzzle, as we often say. About our past issues, outside of cheating, we have not experienced many conflicts. We have had a total of 3 significant disagreements. The first occurred early in our relationship when he was unintentionally doing something that upset me. I had been overlooking it, but then he did something similar on a larger scale, unaware that it would hurt me since I had not disclosed my feelings about the smaller issue, if that makes sense. The second major disagreement was about politics on election night, as our views differ in that area. Although political beliefs could be a deal breaker for me, he shares my core values regarding issues such as social rights, so I do not hold the disagreement against either of us. It is common for couples to argue about politics, especially in Washington, D.C. The third major conflict arose when I discovered he had been secretly using a vape, which was also the first time I felt a breach of trust. We had both decided to quit vaping in October, but at his job, he is not allowed to have any personal items, so he stores them in a work locker. When the holidays came, his workplace required employees to clean out their lockers, and he found an old vape he had forgotten about. Instead of discarding it, he placed it in a drawer in case he wanted it later. When I found it, I was very upset but decided to wait and see if he would use it. The next night, while we were having drinks, he went into the room where the drawer was and used it, prompting me to confront him. He explained exactly what I just shared, and I believe him because I remembered him having that particular vape before. He claimed it remained there for only 2 days and was used twice. Both statements are also true. He had previously mentioned that on occasion, he would take a hit or two when out with friends who vape, so the main concern was that he had his own vape and was being sneaky about it. How he handles issues. Whenever any problems arise between us, he always makes an effort to assure me that the issues will not recur, which makes this situation even more challenging. I recognize that I might have the best partner of my life if I choose to reconcile with him. For example, after the vaping incident, he was genuinely apologetic when confronted and vowed never to vape again, even in the presence of friends. He disposed of that vape immediately, and whenever he goes out with friends who use vapes, he informs me as soon as he returns home and occasionally while he is out, even though I have not requested him to do so. He simply wants to reassure me. He has demonstrated similar behavior after our other conflicts, ensuring I feel reassured and putting forth maximum effort to make amends. How I found out. As I mentioned, we have not had any petty arguments or disagreements besides those 3 main instances, which has resulted in a great deal of trust. Therefore, I never felt the need to go through his phone, even though I had access to it and knew the password. One day, I began to feel a strong instinctual worry that lingered. For 3 days, I searched for a vape or any hidden items until it occurred to me to check his Snapchat. Upon doing so, I discovered all the men he had added and a plethora of saved photos. The cheating. Note, all information was provided by him after being caught and verified by me through my investigations into his phone and conversations with the people he had been communicating with. I learned that he had been messaging men on Snapchat throughout our entire relationship. He informed me, and I corroborated through other sources, that most of the men on his contact list were from before our relationship began, and they only exchanged casual photos from time to time. However, many of those connections had faded. He also admitted that he had downloaded Tinder on 3 separate occasions for a night or two, hoping to find me to see if I was cheating on him. During these searches, he swiped through potential matches and added about 5 users on Snapchat. The most concerning aspect is that one of these individuals is a friend of mine who was unaware of our relationship. He mentioned that most contacts originated from the quick add feature. As for the nude photos, while there may have been around 100 men on his Snapchat account, approximately 20 had exchanged or received explicit images, and only 10 of those were still in contact with him. 7 of these 10 were aware that he was seeing me, and only 5 had received any recent or new revealing photos, which included images of him in underwear or partially nude with a hand covering himself. Only 2 individuals received actual nude photos while we were together. The remainder were from before our relationship. He met with a man he had previously dated 2 years ago for drinks, and they interacted as friends. This friend even came over without my knowledge, but I personally spoke with him under the pretense of being my boyfriend's partner, and I am certain nothing occurred between them. It was entirely platonic. The other man who visited remains unconfirmed. According to my boyfriend, they had previously gone out about 2 years ago, but the other man stopped communicating with him after they had been intimate. My boyfriend found him on Tinder while searching for me, matched with him, and led him on for about a month. He invited that man over after a month, again, without my knowledge, just to continue the pretense, and then ceased all communication with him afterwards. From the texts I reviewed, it was clear the other man was left feeling angry and confused after being misled. The reason I characterize this as somewhat cheating, my terminology, not his, is that, to my knowledge and based on the evidence available, he did not engage in physical activities with these individuals. I also use the term somewhat cheating because 95 of the photos were innocent images of his face, and almost all of the revealing or nude pictures were from earlier, aside from a few recent ones. How he handled it. He became completely transparent and answered all my questions, allowing me to check his phone and converse with others to verify what he said. He took full responsibility for his actions, acknowledged that it constituted cheating, and recognized that it was wrong. He expressed understanding if I chose to end communication with him completely. He also made several life changes, indicating a desire to transform himself completely to become the perfect partner for me. He began searching for a new job that would provide him with greater challenge and motivation, signed up for volunteer opportunities and workout classes, quit using marijuana, and reduced his alcohol consumption to a few drinks on weekends. He has also been very open with me regarding all my inquiries and concerns. I can see he is making an effort, and I recognize the pain he feels from the possibility of losing me, suggesting to me that he genuinely loves me, at least to some extent, and does not want to part ways. He has done many other things as well, but I will refrain from listing all of them. The dilemma. At present, we are on a break with no contact. I informed him that both of us should talk to and date other people. I explained that I needed a month without seeing or speaking to him to gather my thoughts. At the end of that period, if I decide I want to reconcile, we can discuss it, but I also made it clear that he may never hear from me again, to which he acknowledged and accepted. I feel that, in relational terms, we are an ideal match. Aside from the cheating, we have shared an amazing relationship that brings us both immense happiness. I always told him that any infidelity would result in our separation, yet here we are, and I am unsure if that principle holds true anymore. While I am deeply hurt and feel betrayed, I also feel that his actions were not as severe as they could have been, and I believe we have the potential to grow stronger from this experience. He is currently asking me to take things slowly, stay separated, and meet once a week or every 2 weeks to effectively start anew while he attempts to regain my trust and love. He also indicated that if, in the end, I still feel I cannot be with him, that is acceptable, and at least he will have tried. He simply desires a chance, which is highly appealing. As I mentioned earlier, when he makes mistakes, he consistently puts in maximum effort to rectify them and make amends, and I am confident he will do the same in this situation. Although only a few days have passed, I remain very conflicted regarding my feelings, without any clear direction on what to do. I could choose to leave him for good and never communicate again, allow him the opportunity to repair our relationship with no guarantees, see how I feel after this break, engage with others, or consider numerous other options. I truly have no idea what my next steps should be, so I am reaching out on Reddit. Please share your thoughts. P.S. If you made it this far, I am genuinely impressed. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my concerns.